A cold prickle ran down Ethan's spine as he squinted through the peephole. The figure, shrouded in darkness just beyond the porch light, shifted ever so slightly. This wasn't some pizza delivery gone wrong. This was deliberate. His heart hammered a frantic rhythm against his ribs. It was past 10, an odd hour for unexpected visitors, especially in the quiet suburban neighborhood of Oakhaven. Ethan, a freelance writer by trade, had been drowning his exhaustion in a sea of coffee and research papers for most of the night. Now, a jolt of adrenaline replaced his fatigue. He glanced around the dimly lit living room, a baseball bat propped by the fireplace catching his eye. Grabbing it, he crept towards the door, each step heavy with a chilling silence. Through the peephole again, the man seemed to be looking directly at him. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. Panic threatened to consume him, but a fierce protectiveness for his home, his sanctuary, surged through his veins. He took a deep breath, steadying himself. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice a touch shaky despite his best efforts. Silence. The man remained motionless, a dark silhouette against the night. Ethan's grip tightened on the bat. "If you don't answer, I'm calling the police." A low, rasping sound, like nails scraping concrete, emanated from outside. It sent shivers down Ethan's spine. The man spoke, his voice a guttural whisper that sent a primal fear clawing at Ethan's sanity. "Ethan," it rasped, "I've come for what's rightfully mine." The hairs on Ethan's neck stood on end. How did this man know his name? A cold memory surfaced, a childhood legend about a hidden treasure buried somewhere on his property by a notorious outlaw named Mad Matty Maloney. Could this be connected? "There's no treasure here," Ethan said, his voice barely a whisper. The figure chuckled, a dry, humorless sound that sent shivers down Ethan's spine. "Don't lie, Ethan. You wouldn't be living here if you didn't. Let me in, and you won't get hurt." Ethan's mind raced. He couldn't let this man in, not with this unsettling aura clinging to him. But what if there truly was a treasure, and this man wouldn't leave until he found it? Suddenly, a flicker of movement at the corner of his eye caught his attention. Through the living room window, he saw another shadow dart across the backyard. Panic surged through him again. He wasn't alone. "There's more than one of you?" He blurted out, fear lacing his voice. The rasping laughter echoed again, sending a wave of nausea through him. "Let them in, Ethan. Let's make this easy." The doorknob rattled as if someone was trying it from the outside. Ethan fumbled with the deadbolt, adrenaline making his fingers fumble. He knew he couldn't hold them off forever. But then, an idea struck him. He retreated back into the living room, his eyes landing on his old landline phone on the coffee table. It was a relic in the age of cell phones, but in this moment, it seemed like a lifeline. He dialed 911, his hand shaking as he spoke in a hurried whisper, explaining the situation and the strange figures outside. As he spoke, a loud thud echoed from the front door. They were trying to break in. Ethan gripped the bat tighter, his heart pounding in his chest. The dispatcher's voice, calm and reassuring, cut through the panic. "Stay on the line, sir. We're sending help right away. Do not engage with the intruders." Ethan forced himself to focus, relaying any updates to the dispatcher. The assault on the door continued, but with each passing moment, the pounding felt less frantic. Maybe they were giving up? Then, a loud siren wailed in the distance, growing closer with every passing second. Relief flooded Ethan. The police were here. He could hear the murmur of voices outside, then the unmistakable click of handcuffs. A few minutes later, a uniformed officer knocked on the door. Ethan, drained but safe, identified the men through the peephole. There were two, the older one matching the description he'd given, while the other, the one Ethan had seen in the backyard, was younger, his face pale and drawn. Confused, Ethan opened the door. The officer explained that the younger man, the leader's nephew, had confessed everything. The treasure story was a lie. They were after something far more valuable, Ethan's house. They had been targeting empty houses in the neighborhood, using the treasure tale to lure unsuspecting homeowners out. The younger man, racked with guilt, had tipped off the police anonymously, leading them to Ethan's house just in time. Later that night, as the police processed the scene, Ethan stood on his porch, the cool night air a stark contrast to the warmth of relief washing over him. He looked towards his neighbor's house, a light still on in their living room window. A wave of gratitude for his vigilant community washed over him. The following days were a blur of police reports and news crews. The story of Ethan's encounter with the treasure hunters spread like wildfire, making him a reluctant local hero. The house, once a source of fear, now felt strangely protective. He'd faced his fears head-on and emerged stronger. Weeks turned into months, and life settled back into a familiar rhythm. Yet, a nagging curiosity lingered in Ethan's mind. The legend of Mad Matty Maloney and his hidden treasure wouldn't let go. Driven by a strange pull, he began researching the outlaw, spending hours poring over dusty local archives and interviewing elderly residents who might have heard whispers of the past. One afternoon, a weathered photograph tucked away in a forgotten newspaper clipping caught his eye. It was Mad Matty, a scowling face framed by a dusty Stetson hat. But what truly sent a jolt through Ethan was the house in the background, an unmistakable likeness to his own. His breath hitched. Could the legend be true? Was there something hidden beneath his very own roof? A surge of excitement, laced with a touch of trepidation, coursed through him. He decided to investigate. Armed with a metal detector and a newfound determination, Ethan spent his free time scouring his backyard. Days turned into weeks, the search yielding nothing but frustration. Just as he was about to give up, a faint, insistent bleep echoed from the detector near the old oak tree by the back fence. His heart pounded with anticipation as he dug, the cool earth giving way under his shovel. A metallic glint caught his eye. He brushed away the dirt, revealing a tarnished metal box. His fingers trembled as he pried it open. Inside, nestled amongst faded newspaper clippings and yellowed parchments, lay a collection of gold coins, their surfaces worn smooth by time. A gasp escaped his lips. The legend was true. Mad Matty's treasure had been buried all along, right under his nose. Ethan stared at the coins, a sense of wonder mixed with a tinge of unease. This discovery had unearthed a buried chapter of history, but it had also brought him face to face with danger. He realized the treasure wasn't just gold. It was a reminder of the greed it could ignite. He decided to donate the coins to the local historical society, ensuring they were preserved for future generations. The experience had changed him. He had faced his fears, discovered a piece of history, and learned a valuable lesson about the true worth of things. His quiet house in Oakhaven no longer held just memories. It held a story, a testament to the enduring power of courage and the allure of the unknown.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more similar horror stories.